Hello there, and welcome to the Jewellers Academy podcast. My name is Anna Campbell, and I am here and joined today very excitingly, by one of the students on our Diploma in Silver Metal Clay, Niloo. Niloo lives in Finland, and she is a full-time IT engineer. And she's just going to talk to us a little bit about her experiences on the diploma, why she chose to do the diploma, how she fits it in with her full-time work, because people often ask about that. So it's a good thing to talk about. So thank you so much for joining me today. It's exciting to talk to you.
Yeah, hi Anna. Yeah, thank you so much for having me here. It's such an honor, and I'm so excited. I'm Niloo. As Anna mentioned, I live in Finland, and I'm a student in Jewellery Academy Metal Clay Term 3 now. And I am a full-time engineer, and I'm doing this diploma during evenings, of course, and weekends. So and I'd be happy if I can answer some of your questions.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's brilliant. So for those maybe who don't know me, I am metal clay is my thing. So I'm the community manager for Jewellers Academy, but metal clay has always been my thing. So I'm actually one of the tutors on the course. So you've done lots of my courses too. And in fact, the one you're wearing, which if those of you who are watching on YouTube, you can see is a lovely leaf pendant that is from the botanical jewelry course that you did as part of it. So that's why I always love talking metal clay with anyone. So it's brilliant to get the opportunity to do that. And I just wanted to kind of get started off by talking about, like, how did you discover jewelry making? Why did you decide to do the diploma in the first place?
Yeah, so actually, it goes back maybe to 2 or 3 years ago. I think it was after COVID. So first, I always had a thing for art and making stuff with like hands and like creation, But yeah, my life took me to another path, and I studied engineering for years, and I'm working for years now. But it was after COVID time that I realized that I started following Jewellery Academy. And then I realized that there is an online course. So I always wanted to try at least jewelry making. But the problem for me was that either I was studying full time or I was working full time. So there was no way that I could in person attend in any type of classes. And then I saw that there is online diploma, which takes 1 year for all different kinds of silver jewelry making. So I started checking those, and then of course lots of thinking, and then after some time, actually I decided that this is the way I want to take. And so the thing that inspired me for at least registering here was that I'm the type of person that I need structured framework. So
Me too.
yeah, so I'm like, okay, there's a structure here. We already can see the projects. And then so I saw that I joined this open day. I had a chat even before deciding with Jewelers Academy. And so then I figured I understood that there is a concept of mentorship here, and then these Facebook groups, Zoom calls, and literally terms that you can send your whatever you make and then get feedback on it. So it was it felt like I'm going in a university, for a year. So yeah, and I decided to go for it, and
And I know you were looking at the different options, the different diplomas. So why did the metal clay jump out at you, do you think?
Yeah, so I didn't know really what is the difference. So even back then when somebody showed me a silver pendant, I wouldn't really guess I always thought there is like this solid silver that everybody works with. But then like when I was checking the diplomas, of course I was checking the projects and like the pieces that I'm going to be able to make after the diploma. And I was in love with the projects with metal clay because it was like so creative. So, I mean, I think each person like can make like different type of pieces even with one technique. So you only like learn one technique and then like you can just make your own piece. Like literally you can dream about it, think about it and just make it. And it's interesting, like yesterday morning, so it was a Sunday, so I mean normally I wake up at 10, 11, but yesterday suddenly like at 8 a.m. I was like, oh, I'm gonna make this. And then I just got up and then went to my bench and I like made something that I just thought about it. Like this is what I love about metal clay because it's a clay, you know, who doesn't like clay?
I think that's so true. And I'll just say a little bit for anyone who's listening to this podcast and so like, I have no idea what metal clay is. So metal clay is a manufactured material. It's made of 100% recycled silver. So all of the particles of it are recycled. I went to a talk from one of the Japanese masters who talked about where they get the silver from, but it's from places like X-rays. They go to the hospitals, they reclaim the silver from the X-rays, from the photographic industry. Electronics have silver and things in them. So they take all of these particles, they put it together with a plant-based binder and some water. So that is what makes it like a clay. So traditional silver and goldsmiths will use sheet silver or sheet gold. They'll use wire. Wax carvers will use wax and they'll cast their pieces, and us metal clay artists use metal clay. So there are different types of metal clay as well. There's silver, there's bronze, there's copper, there's gold, there's steel clay. There's lots of different types of clay. So this particular course specializes with silver metal clay, but really the techniques that you learn are the same on whatever clay you use. And it really is. It's interesting because obviously we have a diploma in silver jewelry as well, which is the much more traditional methods of working with silver. And the metal clay is just like you said, it's very creative, isn't it? There's so much you can do with it. We can mold it and shape it and texture it, and we can it is such a creative way. And I think if you were looking or thinking, I really want to learn jewelry making, I don't know what I want to learn, I think doing what you did was smart, was kind of like looking at the projects. Like look at the different projects because they are different. Like the two different ways of making kind of take you down different paths, even though it's the same metal. So I love that you did that. And I know also you said you did the 5 days of metal clay, which we have. I'll leave a link up to that on the show notes as well. So you'd watched those courses as well, hadn't you?
Yeah, that is true. Because again, as you said, okay, when I was checking the website, I was like, okay, these pieces are so beautiful. But what is really silver metal clay? I had no idea how to work with it. So as you said, because I only knew this traditional way. I took that 5-day course, although I didn't have any tools or materials. So I just watched it to see how the process is. And I really liked it. And I felt like actually it's not difficult at all. I don't know, maybe it kind of felt like a kid, So when you are a kid, you always play with this how do you call play doh? And it felt so much like that. And it is still. It's just you need to be fast when working with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's so true. I mean, I know you're right at the end of term 3, which is the end of the course. I think there's one project you haven't seen yet. That's all. You kind of seen everything so far. So, I mean, what has been your favorite project that you've learned on the course?
Botanical. This is...
You have to say that because that's one of mine. No, she doesn't.
Yeah. I mean, I love nature. And this is if you I mean, you can basically have like different leaves, flowers, anything. You can make it to silver. Like, I mean, isn't it the best? I mean, and like every time, every time I walk around, like especially now that it's summer, everywhere is so green with flowers. Like I just walk around and like unconsciously, like I think about which one I can like make it as a jewelry, you know. And like sometimes I feel like I need to walk around with my like mold compounds, and like
Some people do, and maybe you need to do that now, huh? Yeah.
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 Yeah, and then another good thing about metal clay is like how easy it is to put texture on it. And I realized it like on Instagram when I was sharing some of my projects there, and then people were saying that, oh my god, like this is like such a nice texture, but you know it's just a texture from home. Like I found it somewhere in a drawer and I just liked it, and like but it's it's so good. Yeah, it's
Yeah, it's so funny, isn't it? The world becomes a different place because when you're walking around, you're like, suddenly you see things in a different way, don't you? There's different textures all around, and
exactly.
um, it's just mad because it's like a clay.
Mm.
It's much easier to mold and shape it to do things like you're wearing a leaf pendant that you've made. I know. To do things like that, and also to kind of sculpt a little bit with it and to shape it in a different way.
Mm.
It's just it's such an amazing material, and this means you've been using it for less than a year, I think. Then
Yeah. It's really, yeah. Like we started in September, and it's only May now. It's not even a year, and like I love it. Like yeah, and as you said, like so, in like this third term, we have a master class, and like there, like we are learning how to do these sculptural elements, and that is so cool too. So basically like you can make like a branch or like whatever you like with your hand, whatever really you can imagine, you can do it, you know.
yeah, absolutely. I think this is another thing about the course that's amazing. In this final term, you have your masterclass term basically, and there are some really brilliant. Well, they're all brilliant artists, like world-renowned metal clay artists that you're learning from who have come over here to professionally film their courses. In Anna Mazon's case, flown over from Poland. Her stuff is just beautiful, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
she does a lovely flower garden pendant with the stone setting. Oh, there's just so much.
I'm doing that right now, and yeah, it's I can't believe now I can make a rose myself, which looks like a real rose actually.
Good. Yes. With that one, you're doing hand sculpted elements of things like vines and flowers and all kinds of different things, as well as the stone setting. What else have you got? You've got Joy Funnel teaching enameling and being able to add color to your work. You've got Julia Ray teaching the lidded vessels, and it's got a kind of a screw top, so you're learning how to kind of more construction, I suppose, of pieces.
Yeah.
And then the one you haven't got yet is the ring that has the poison ring, which you don't have to use for poison. Let's just
Actually,
say.
I really like the name. I'm like, sorry.
It's a good name, isn't it? It's a ring that kind of has like a section. It's got a stone setting on the top. It's got a section that opens up, so like a hinged section, where you can put a little thing in, a little note, a little whatever. And yes, it's kind of called a poison ring, but you don't need to poison anyone with it. But it's just what I think is lovely, especially as you did start as a complete beginner and you hadn't even touched the clay before you get started. I know you said like in your first week you were like, oh yeah, this is the right thing for me.
Yeah, exactly. So first, when I wanted to join, so I was like really like hesitant. I think everybody is like that. Like not everybody, but probably people who has no experience. They're like, is it really the thing that I like? And but like actually my suggestion to those people is like, go for it. If you have the slightest interest, just go for it. Like, this is the best. But yeah, so I was thinking, okay, I will give it a try. Like, this can be my passion, or like it's just experience. So I, like, after the first week, I meant, like, the first week I made 5 charms, and I was like, oh my god, like this is it. And yeah, exactly. And then what I love really about this course is that, okay, I don't know if it's only for metal clay or all the diplomas, but like, this is only what I experienced in metal clay, is that, like, what I was worried at the beginning was that if this is a course that is for advanced people, then I cannot join it. Or if it's a beginner, then how come advanced people can join it? But then, like, in our group now, we are a mix of beginners and people who have worked with metal clay, and who they have their own business even. Like, I'm the one who doesn't have it yet. But like, yeah, we are a mix of different people, but we are all enjoying it. That is, I think, because, like, so they start from basic techniques and they teach everything, including you, Anna. You guys teach like so well and in details that even I hear it from my classmates that this is like these techniques, even like the basic ones, are like so useful and like so structured. And then, like, little by little, when even in term 1 we had complicated projects, which
absolutely,
I made it. Yeah, so it's like it's fun how everybody's on this ride, and like everybody's enjoying, and like it's
it's absolutely true. We wanted it to be accessible to people like you who haven't done it, but they're like, yes, this is what I want to do. I can see I really want to give this a go. And we work on that idea of incremental learning. So even if you have done some before, like you said, you'll quickly kind of do some basics just to remind yourself. And also, of course, people teach it in different ways. People make things in different ways. It's one of the lovely things about having so many different tutors as well, because they've always got a kind of a different take on something, or, they just do something a little bit differently. And one of them might click more with you than another, and that, I think, makes a difference. But it's about learning. You start with the basics, but really quickly you're building up. It's that incremental learning. You learn something, and then you learn the next thing, and you practice the first thing, and then you learn the next thing, and you keep practicing the other thing. So it's really about building up your skills, but not too quick. It's like, it's not like we're going to give you the poison ring to do on like day 1, because that's a project with lots of steps in it. But it's about building up to that. I think that's what's exciting about it.
Yeah, that is so true. Yeah. And what I also like about these diplomas is that, like, they get feedbacks, I think, from students from the past year. So for example, for this year, they already told us that they shuffled a couple of weeks. So
we did.
More convenient. Yeah. So that's really nice, actually.
Yeah, definitely. You're in the second year that have done this course. So this is our kind of most recent diploma course that we've added to the programs. It's the 4th one of our diploma programs. And I honestly have been asking for this one for a long time. I found notes that I made like years and years and years ago, like pre-COVID, that I've been like, what, we should do this, and ideas for projects to do and things like that. So it's something that we've been working on for a long time. Jess, our founder, is a metal clayer, and she teaches on the course as well. So you've learned a lot from her too. She does amazing work too. And in fact, actually, one of her first businesses was a metal clay business that she did too. So it was been a bit of a labor of love for us, because it's something that we absolutely adore. And a lot of times it's kind of, with Jess and I are like, well, what would we want to learn? If we had the chance to learn it again, what would we want to learn? What techniques would we want to learn? I think that's what's so exciting about it.
Yeah, that's true.
And also, as part of it, can you say a little bit about how, like, you've got a mentor and the support that you've had as part of being on the course? Because I think that is a thing, isn't it? With an online course, you can feel like you're going to just be left on your own and not know what to do if you get stuck or something.
Yeah. Oh, I think that is like the main part. Like, okay, so I've never done like an online jewelry course, but I've done lots of online courses. And I can say 60 to 70% I didn't complete those courses.
Yeah.
And of course, like, because like there was, no, no mentorship, no way of, actually like feel like step by step working,
Yeah.
and like so in our course, it goes so that like we have this bi-weekly meetings, which I guess in British you call it
Fortnightly. Yeah.
fortnightly. Yeah. Zoom calls we have. So like every 2 weeks we meet in our group, and like our group is not even like so big. So because before joining, I was thinking, oh my God, maybe it's like 30 to 40 people in a group, and like I'm not gonna talk like but no, not really. So we basically know each other like really well. We know our mentor. And so we talk like all of us go in rounds how we're doing the projects, if like we're blocked somewhere. And the good thing that I like is not like only about the mentor that we have, like we have such an amazing mentors, but also I'm learning a lot from people who are in the same group with me. So like sometimes like we have like the same maybe like problems, we do troubleshooting. And like sometimes like even some time ago I remember that I was so afraid to start a project because like I couldn't really follow the steps for some reason. And then like I went to the Zoom call, and then one of the friends there, like she was like, yeah, I was like that, so I started like this. And I'm like, oh, okay, so I will do the same, it's gonna work. And I'm like, oh my God, it worked. The next time when I was in the call, I already showed them the pendant that I made. And so this is what I really love about that. And then we have this Facebook group, which I have no idea how the mentors are tracking that, because like they are there, I think 24/7. Whenever like we ask, like we can post everything, we can ask anything, like they are always there answering our questions. Then we have this one-to-ones as well. And that, like we get like 1 hour with our mentor to discuss, like, so we get one during the term so that we can discuss about the projects. Like usually I have like a long note, and then I have all my pieces next to me, and I'm like showing Joe everything. And apart from that, another really good thing is the feedback one-to-one call that we have. So at the diploma goes this way, that like we have 3 terms, and at the end of each term we need to like post everything to the academy, and then our mentors receive it, and then they check it like in details one by one. They say like okay, first always they start with the good things of course, but then it's like, okay, maybe it was better that if you would done that like late the other way. But like the good thing is that we always get back the pieces, and like I work on them again to make them better. So these feedback sessions always are really helpful. So the thing that helps me a lot is that we have deadlines, but not really strict deadlines. We have the projects every week, but then at the end of the term we also have like a couple of weeks to work on like whatever we are behind. So basically the deadline is like end of the term. But yeah, this is also really helpful, I think, in being able to finish really a course and learn everything.
I think that's such a good point, because we know, a lot of so many online courses have, like you said, a very low completion rate, because we've all done it, like you said. We sign up for these things and maybe we start them, but we don't necessarily finish them, or there's no they just kind of sit on our computer and we're like, I must get to that, I must get to that, and then just don't do them. And I think that's why we've got the diploma organized in the way that it is. So you have a project each week which is released. You don't have it all released at once, because that would just be like too overwhelming to try and work on. And you've got, like you said, you've got your support, you've got your mentor there, but you also have deadlines because you need them. And we do give extra time. Like sometimes people are on holiday, or you're ill, or you got work commitments, and you just don't have time to keep up with it week by week. So we've added some time onto the end of each term to just like that catch up time, and that polishing time to finish it all off and get it ready. But having those deadlines is really helping everyone stay on track and just keep momentum going, really, I guess, and just really just keeping going and making sure you get to where you are at this stage, what you can do now compared to what you could do in September. It's just completely different.
Yeah. That is true. Yeah. I the deadlines really help. At least for me, it's really helpful. And because like, again, so I'm working during the day and I have like some just evenings and the weekends. So it's not a lot really. And sometimes like I'm tired, sometimes like, you go on vacation. But like, so as like when I was checking the diploma, one thing that I was really worried about was that, am I like able to do that? Because like, you're investing time, you're investing money, and you want to make sure that, you can get the most out of it. But then I realized that, okay, so on average for each project, you need like around 7 hours, then 8 hours, like maybe a day of working day, one working day each week. And like, I think you can easily get that, and even like for complicated projects, we have 2 weeks. So like the box ring.
Yeah, that's true. I think was that the box ring you say?
Yeah.
Was that complicated? Did you say?
And we had 2 weeks. So
Yeah. No, that's true. I think the more involved projects, the ones that will take longer, we give longer. So we, like you say, you'll get like two weeks, so basically 14 hours or something, rather than 7 hours to work on it. So we've looked at how long we think it will take to make. And also, but the other thing to say as well is, because I think people feel really nervous about that feedback and the mentoring and stuff, it's like, we know it's the first time you've ever made it. It's like, when you're doing it, it's always the first time you've ever made it. And so we know that's how we learn, is by doing it. Like that, we follow the steps and we do it. And then we know next time, okay, next time I would do it like this. Next time I would do this. But that's what, when we're looking at assessment and when we're doing the feedback, it's all about like, how can we help you for next time? And yes, it's assessing and giving you marks out of 20 or whatever that might be. And that's an important part of it too, in some ways. But the really important thing is being able to say, wow, this looks really great. This part looks great. And you could do this next time to make it even better, kind of thing. I think that's what's so important with it.
Yeah, that's correct. Because like, so I remember the first term when I had the feedback. So like, of course I was like, missing lots of bits and pieces, and then like the second term, which was of course more advanced than the first term, I even got higher score. So I mean, I'm not talking about like you need to get a really high score. No, it's not really about that. But like when like I was talking to my mentor, and then now the other type of like issues I had to fix in my making, but then my whole assessment was higher even than the first term, because like I've learned a lot, like although the projects were much more complicated, but then
exactly.
I'm so proud of myself.
You should be. You should be. I mean, it's such a brilliant thing to do and to follow along and to keep going. One thing we don't talk about that much is that the pass rate is 60%. So 60% and above, you will receive certification for the diploma. So it's not like it's like 80%, 90%, or you don't pass. that's not what it's really about. And also another thing sometimes people worry a little bit about is like if there's essays to write or if there's anything that you need to do like that. The focus of all of our diploma courses in metal clay and all of them is around learning technique. So it's really creating a portfolio for yourself of jewelry that you have made, techniques that you can do. And I think it's particularly for metal clay, I think it's about you having that opportunity to really try everything, like try things, and maybe you'll be like, I'm never going to do that again. I can do it, but it's not my style. I'm not going to do that again, but I know how to do it.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's what's interesting about the botanicals that you really love. And I know you're talking about maybe doing your final project in that style as well. So the final project is kind of like, as it sounds, a final project, using 3 techniques that you've learned from the course to incorporate in one final piece, to just show off what you've done, really, what you've achieved. So, yeah, have you started designing? I mean, you've got other things. You don't have to have done that yet. I'm just interested.
Now, please don't make me nervous. But
okay, I'm making you nervous now. We don't have to talk about that. I just interested.
But I've been thinking, because now, as I said, like the nature here is so inspiring in Finland. Like this is the thing that I love about here, and so I was just thinking I can get an inspiration from nature around me, but I need to think about the techniques because like I cannot even count how many techniques I have learned. So
I know.
Yeah,
that's it. And I think what we wanted with the projects through the course, there are specific there's marking criteria, there's guidance to know, so you know what we're looking for and what we're going to give marks on. So it's not like just make something and then we just say arbitrarily, oh, you get 10 out of 20 or whatever. So there is specific guidance. But when it comes to the final project, it's a little bit more open because we want people to be like, right, you've learned all of this. What do you want to make? What do you like? Well, you've told you what to make. Like, you can still use your style in what you're making with it, absolutely. But this last one is this opportunity really to just kind of just take that and use it in the way that you want to use it. So it's exciting. I look forward to seeing what you do.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. And what I love about these courses is that like you can either follow what is like the tutors is doing, like you can exactly follow step by step, so no worries. Or you can also be creative and like use the technique and do what you like. So like because when it comes to like designing it yourself and like creating it yourself, then of course it's harder. At least for me it was harder. But like I managed to do like a couple of pieces like that, and I'm really happy with the results. So that's really
and I think what's nice is that one week you can just follow the project and just do exactly what the tutor does, and by doing that you're learning how to do it. And another week you might be like, oh, I've got this really great idea, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that, but then I'm going to add in a little bit of this or make it this shape, or I'm going to so you don't have to do the same all the time. You can do a little bit of that and a little, and then some weeks you're like, okay, this seems quite a complex project, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to follow the steps.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And one thing I know you did, and I thought this would be a good opportunity to talk about, is I know you bought the tools and materials kit as well. And so you don't have to buy that. You have the option of just doing the course only. And we do currently have like payment plans for that. But also we have a toolkit and we also have a materials kit. I actually recommend everyone gets the materials kit. It makes everything so much easier. But like, just tell us what was the decisions for you in terms of buying those?
Yeah, so at first, like I didn't know, I was not sure if I want to buy this tools and materials, but then I decided to do it because like I wanted to have my focus only on making and like trying to learn the techniques and everything. And like buying those was, I think, the best decision ever I had because so first of all, when the package comes to you, you literally, you have like all of them in this like small plastic bags that like it says, okay, this is for the materials you need for week for term 1 week 1, term 1 week 2. So you have everything there. So if you need the stone, if you need the silver clay itself, if you need, I don't know, even like smallest wires, so everything, you have it there. So you don't need to worry about, oh, where do I get them? Like, especially like for me, like I'm in Finland, so it's not really easy for me to get things. Like it's not really accessible for me. I need to go to Amazon all the time. And so that was good. But also one more thing that was good for me, I think, like I noticed that the price of this silver metal clay was even more expensive these days. I'm like, okay, I'm happy that I already bought it last year.
Yeah.
So I have everything. And yeah, of course I bought the tools because like then I and they sent you everything that you really need for the diploma. And I think it's basically everything that you need for the rest of your life, probably. I hope. I hope. Or maybe the basic things that you need. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's so true. I think if somebody is doing metal clay now already, you may have a lot of the tools that you need. I think one of the great things about metal clay actually is that the tools are not that sophisticated. They don't have to be that expensive. You know, just generally that's okay. But so if you have some tools already, there is a list. I'll make sure I put it in the show notes, and you can just get the bits that you don't have. So you don't necessarily need to buy the full kit. But if you don't have anything, if you're starting like you did from nothing, and you also like sometimes you just don't know what it said, like it says something on the list and you're like, what is that? If you're a complete beginner, you're like, how am I going to find out what these things are?
I was checking the list because like I think I saw the list before even like applying for those tools and materials, and I'm like, what are even this? What is the difference between this? And I'm like, it's like a huge list.
Yeah. That's the thing. You know, we have put this kit together. It's got like a whole year's worth of all the tools, and as you said, the materials. I think the materials, particularly, well, for all of our courses, but particularly for this course, because there's things like the gold leaf for Kaimbu, and if you were going to buy the gold leaf, you'd have to buy a full packet of the gold leaf, and gold is quite an expensive thing right now. And so you get what you need in the materials pack to make the piece. And then if you want to buy more, then that's absolutely fine. It's the same with the enamels as well. If you go out and buy, you'd need to buy a full pack of enamels or full sizes of things. But what we've done is put together kits that have got like the mini sizes. So you've got probably more than you need, but you've got enough to do the project. So in that respect, I think it's just financially makes sense anyway, because, and then, you know, it's all one, the postage is all included and it's all in there. And otherwise, if you're having to be like, what do I need next week? Oh, I better order that. And I'm going to get the postage added on. And is it going to arrive in time? And, you know, it's like, it's easy to just open up the bag and go, week 1, poof, here it is.
Yeah. I just need to find it in that, in that box. And then, okay. Yeah, that is true. Yeah. And it's good because like, as you mentioned, like you have like the, in the smaller portions so that you only do the project, or, well, I still have something left from the previous projects. I didn't even finish everything, but like then it's good because then once you know which techniques you're really going to use, so you can then buy the materials for that. So you're sure that you're gonna invest on something that you really want to use it.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's so true. That's so true. And so for you, what are your future plans with your jewelry making? Because I know you're working full time right now, but is this something, it's just a hobby, or is it something you're going to make into a business? Tell us your plan.
Yeah. So it started as a hobby or as something I will give it a go. So I will see, because, you know, back then this was like a dream, you know, like I didn't even know that like I'm what I'm gonna be able to make, or if I'm gonna like it or not, honestly. But then again, after the first week, I'm like, that's it. And then now my plan is that like I like the more we go through the course, the more I want to give up my job and do the business. But of course, I need to keep my job for the income, and I'm planning to have my own business. But I know that is hard. But I'm happy that there is it a kickstart course, a
Mm-hmm.
business course or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, that we got it with the diploma, and
Mm-hmm.
so like there just goes through the steps that you need to take to build a business. So I'm planning to do it, but I think I haven't done it yet because there is no deadline on it and it's there forever. Of course, but I need to do that. And then like I have started like contacting some even like stores here in Finland, and also I'm going to participate in some summer fairs so that like I can start like getting my like local customers here. And probably I need to like open an Etsy shop. But yeah, these are like all in my mind. But that's the plan. Yeah, yeah.
Mm. Oh, that's so exciting. And I think that's what's great. Is like with metal clay, well, with anything, but with metal clay particularly, it could be that you're doing it because it's your creative outlet. You love it. It's like a hobby, and you're doing it because you for fun, and that's absolutely fine. And the diploma is brilliant for that. But it also may be that you're like, okay, now I want to make this into a business, and I want to sell jewelry. Sometimes people also want to teach jewelry making, and metal clay is a really great way
Yeah.
to start with that too. So it gives you both of those options. I know I was exactly the same. The first time I ever tried metal clay, I was like, this is it. I was like, yes, this is the thing. I can completely get you there. So yeah, I would say anyone who's thinking about it, you could give the free 5 days of metal clay a go, and just see if you feel the same, because it's such a great thing. All right, well, let's finish off with, if somebody is listening and thinking, oh, I really want to do it, I'm not quite sure, what would your advice be? What would you say to them?
Okay, I was in the same situation a year ago. I think I signed up like it was in April or something. But so two things that was like I was worried back then, or maybe some people are now, was like first the fee, so the tuition fee that I need to pay, but like that was kind of solved with the plans. So I'm not sure if they're still ongoing, but like I took this
Yep, this
12
payment
month,
plan, yeah.
yeah, that I took this 12-month payment. So that was like, like you go buy I don't know, a phone, a car, or something that like you just like, when it's spread, it's much easier to handle from your payslip.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would say like the same thing that my husband told me. So like when I was hesitating, he told me that like just go for it. Like it's an experience. So like I mean, it doesn't need to be like, oh, this should be like a business. Like just go for it. Like, you're gonna have fun. It's an experience, such a wonderful experience. Structured. You will get to know many wonderful, amazing people, and like I hope that something like me it happens to you, so that you'll fall in love with it, and like you get the most out of it. Really, really, yeah. It's nothing like the other really online classes that at least I had before, and so the good thing for us, I think, is that we will have all of these videos really step by step. And I think it's really good that it's an online course, because I think I was there I couldn't like go on the next to the tutor and see exactly where are her fingers or something on the clay. So like the videos are like such a high quality, and like you can just see the details so good. And the good thing is that like you'll get to have all of these videos, like it's a lifetime access. So whenever you need, like you just can go, and like even now, like I'm making some jewelries for myself too. And like I'm like, okay, oh, what was this technique? I already forgot. So I just go back, I check again, and like I do it. So this is like an amazing opportunity, really.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. That's so true, I think. And also we haven't had to do this yet for the Metal Clay diploma, but if we add any new modules, you get the new ones as well.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
I mean, we've started adding some for the silver diploma and the fine diploma, and I think the advanced diploma not yet. But if we do film anything new, anyone who's already done it will get that. You won't have to pay for that separately, because that's just going to be added as well. So like the earlier you do the course, the better, because you just get it all. So and I think that's a great benefit too. But I think that's a really big thing, is being able to just go back and look at it again, because like you say, we use a professional film crew. We have multiple different angles that they're looking at us from. It's quite intimidating. You got all these cameras and people around, and a sound person, and all of that. So it's got a lot going on with it, but like you say, in a lot of ways you can see better than you would if you're in a class, because it's so close up. It's all happening. It's all happening. Well, thank you so much for joining me. If people would like to follow you on Instagram, how will they find you?
Yeah, so I have an Instagram account, so it's like Niloo Artisan Jewelry, and I have started it actually in it was just in January. But I'm like, whatever I'm posting there, it's like the project. So like whatever I'm doing. So if you wanna check out what we're doing there by a non-professional person. So
I think it would be good actually for people to look back and see the projects that you've been making, because obviously they've been the ones from the course. So it's a good opportunity to look at a student's work too, and to see what they're making.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I always love talking metal clay, and it's brilliant to have that opportunity to speak to you. And yes, thank you for listening, and we'll see you again for another episode of the Jewelers Academy podcast.